Yo guys, today let's talk about the Shield Hero, the Rising of the Shield Hero episode 4. Now, so far, this is the best episode I've seen of the Shield Hero so far. But there's only been 4 episodes out, so there's not much to say. But damn, like the emotions that I felt through this episode, they were real. I was really sucked in. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Like I've not felt that kind of emotions in a while watching a medium or anything. Like, it was crazy how angry I got and how sad I felt. It was crazy. But yeah, let's talk about it. So we see them all at the party trying to get, about for defeating the first wave. And Nafumi, he doesn't like anyone. He hates everybody, and he's only there because he wants his reward, you know, which is understandable. It would be out of his character for him to be there for no reason. But then we see we find out the girl who framed Nafumi is actually the princess, right? I was like, I think I knew this because I read the synopsis of the show and it said she was the princess. So I already knew this, but now everyone knows this in the show. So it adds a new layer of depth to the whole plot, really. I mean, not a plot, but like conspiracy. So like, yo, I really hate this princess, man. Why? Like, oh, she actually makes me mad. Like, I was actually so mad. So, uh, before this episode, I had always assumed that the spear, the spear hero was collaborating with the princess the whole time. But this episode says a different story because we see the princess whisper something in the the spear hero's ear, and then we find out what she said was Nafumi as a slave, right? And he's using her as a slave, and obviously everyone from everyone from our timeline, is really against slaves. In the real world as well, everyone's pretty much ruled that out. So being the spear hero and all the heroes being from the other world, they know that slaves are bad, and it's always been seen as bad. So when the princess tells him that, he freaks out because obviously so far he's got a really scumbag reputation right now. That's what everyone sees him as, and for him to have a slave like that makes him even lower than low. And obviously the spear hero was not going to stand up for that. So he offers him a duel, but the duel kind of like rubbish. Like the conditions was if he wins, the slave is freed, and if he loses, nothing happens. Like that's not really a worthwhile duel to fight. Only one side actually benefits anything from that. A duel should have it where both sides benefit mutually. So that was kind of a rubbish duel, and obviously now for me, in that situation, like the favors aren't in my thing anyway. If I was a shield hero and if he told me that, I'd be like, I don't gain. Like Nafumi gained absolutely nothing from it. He either loses nothing or he loses. He doesn't win anything from it. So he made the smart decision of not like fighting him and walking away. But this is where the real conspiracy thing comes up. He can't leave. The king forces him actually to fight. We see all the guards and stuff. I was like, whoa. And then we see them fight, right? And you know what? I'm like, despite what everyone says, now for me, like he won. Like despite all the negative and all the hate against the shield hero for being useless, he beat the guy. He beat the main dude with the spear. Like this spear hero. I guess he's meant to be like the big DPS bad boy, but he lost. Technically, he lost. Like Nafumi just completely caned him with all his utility and stuff. It's quite interesting to see. It's like how to utilize your defense into offense kind of thing. But obviously, we could see Nafumi's offense didn't really pack a punch. But he did really well. He used his abilities well. This is just this reminds me of just any game you play. So say for example League of Legends, it doesn't matter how strong your character is. It's about how you utilize your kit. and Naofumi utilizes Kit very well. And then we see from the GUI and the interface, user interface, uh, this dude's like level 40 something, and Naofumi's only level 26. So again, that's pretty crazy. Like the level difference, like in most RPGs, the level difference itself would actually just be too much to handle anyway. So like props to Naofumi for being a dude 20 levels above himself. That's pretty crazy. Imagine if they're the same level, like this spear hero had no chance of winning if they were same level. I reckon Naofumi would like take minimal damage at all. That's how. But yeah, he played this dude like a fiddle. But then obviously we get the princess. She joins in and uses a magic spell, forcing Naofumi to lose concentration, and the spear hero to unleash an attack on Naofumi while he was distracted. But that was pretty scummy. And at that point, I thought they were still conspiring together. But it turns out afterwards when it was so surprising though because everyone saw it, but no one said anything. And then I was like, what? Because obviously the other heroes have saw it as well, and they've always been. I was like, do they hate now for me that much as well? Oh, I thought it was like some secret, like I thought it was a what just like a sneak attack that not many people didn't see it, like it was hidden or something. But everyone saw it, so I was getting angry at everyone. Like, yo, you guys saw that, right? And no one said anything, so I was getting angry at the hero as well because they're meant to be a bit more open-minded to these kind of things. And like even the crowd should have seen that as well. But I was actually getting angry, like, yo, they just ruined the sacred duel. And then we see Raptilia getting taken away. But damn, like the portrayal of anger done by the studio was done very well. I thought, like the whole static thing as well. I thought that was a very um, I thought that was a very cool way to portray the anger, like the rage, like just the screen breaking and static. I felt that was a very good, accurate representation of what anger felt like. But at that scene as well, I was feeling angry as well, and the scene helped me. What do you call it elevate my emotions along with the show. It like whoa, it was crazy. I liked it though. Damn. And then this is the part where Nafumi finds out right that the king has actually been a scumbag the whole time as well, and he's been plotting with his daughter. And like damn, like those two, they're just scumbags. Like I don't know why they hate the shield hero. I like what's the hate on him? Like he's not done anything wrong to them. He literally just came and they've just been like messing him up since day one, like scumbags. And then like Nafumi has that realization as well, because he's been set up the entire time. But like these two must have a past with the Shield hero. Like, I hope something bad happens to these two, or at least Nafumi. I want Nafumi to punch them both. You know, that'd be pretty crazy as well. I want to see that. But yeah, and then we just see Nafumi having like the ultimate breakdown, and I'm not even what you gonna say. I'm not even mad or I'm not even surprised they had the breakdown. Like with everything that's happened to him, like the misfortunes has just been placed on him so much. It's ridiculous. I can relate to this character quite a lot. Like obviously I've not had that much misfortune in my life, but like the emotions he was feeling, like I could sympathize with his situation. Well, not his situation exactly, but his feeling of despair as well. Like, I guess I've had similar feelings, so it was quite a relatable episode. And yeah, and the way he spirals into what do you call it? The way he spirals into rage as well, and his depression. You just see him spiraling down a dark hole. It was quite good imagery they use as well with the whole pure black thing as well. That was pretty crazy. But then with them, Raftilia, she came in. She was the MVP for this episode. She came in. She got freed from the seal, and she comes back, and then she proves everybody wrong. You know, she comes out in front of everyone, and is like, "Yo, I respect this dude a lot, and he was my master, but now he's still my ally, and I still care for this dude. He cared for me, And then, uh, I love the preach that he did to the spear hero. It was like obviously the spear hero. Like I've now figured out. Like, oh, actually, let's talk about the spear hero real quickly, right? I'm just bouncing back and forth through my thoughts, but yeah. So I'm gonna say I'm sorry for the spear hero. Like, I'm sorry for what I've said about you, because I thought this douchebag was working with the princess to ruin the shield hero's like career, I guess. But it turns out he was getting played the whole time. It was crazy to think that. But it turns out because I thought this guy was actually the what do you call it? I thought this spear hero was like the puppet master with the princess as well, like the co-conspirators. But it turns out he was just a puppet, and he was just a very strongly. uh, it was just a dude with very good, strong morals that may be a bit too strong in some cases. A bit SJW style kind of guy, Like his morals are very high. He was like on that night level of morals. He's always on his high horse kind of thing. And then if I think about it from that perspective, it makes sense everything he's done up to now. Because then, if you think about it, the first time he, what do you call it? He confronts Nafumi. It's about the rape allegations, and anyone, and most people with the morals and with any sense of moral will obviously will not stand for that kind of stuff. And this guy having a ridiculous amount of morals, I can see why he would shun Nafumi straight away because he didn't know. And at the time, I assumed he was part of the co-conspirator to get more money and items, but it turns out he didn't know. So, yeah, I'll give him a clean slate. I'll take back what I said about him. But yeah, and we can see here as well because of his moral standpoints on slavery, why he decided to fight Nafum in the first place. But then when he's confronted by the slave herself, you know, it's a different story. So he's like, "Yo, I saved you. Why are you back here? Why aren't you grateful?" And she comes back with some good things because this guy doesn't have a good he has a misconception of Nafumi. And Raftilia sets him straight. She tells him about the times like, actually, I like the way she says it. It's like, have you? Do you think you would take care of me? Do you think you would have fed me? Like, she compares him directly to Nafumi, like trying to say that he's better than him. And it was just the way it was done. It's like, and he's like, yeah, I would have done that. Yeah, I would have done that. And then the finishing line was like, "Where's your slave then?" And he just had no answer for that. I love that because it probably hurt him a bit. I won't lie. But like that line, I was like, yo, that was a good line. It was just done so well. Like, where's your slave if you would have done all this? But it was pretty good. And then we see her console Nafumi, and they have like a little bonding session. It was pretty cute, and it was pretty feelsy. I had a bit of feels, a guy who's all alone and everyone's against him, but now he has his first ally, and the reason why he's never noticed this is because he's been blinded by the rage. He's been consumed by the rage that he feels towards everyone, and he's ignored her since day one, I guess. And then as he's reflecting on everything, he realizes that she's said these things before, but he's just never listened. So she's always been on his side, but he's just never noticed that she's been on his side. So that was good to know because now he knows she's on her side. I guess it was the wall he put up after everyone hated him. He put up on like a wall around himself, and now this is, I guess, a way of letting Raftilia in to his real self and being open with his feelings, which he wasn't before. So I guess this is good for the characterization and relationship. But yeah, I have been noticing she has been growing quite exponentially, and she's changed. Because I remember when I saw her last episode, I was like, she does look a lot different, and it was made very apparent why she was growing. I had a feeling it was for that reason too, actually, because she's demi-human, and I was told about that demi-humans. I had a feeling that demi-humans would be like that, since of the way the progression was working. But yeah, it's been confirmed that demi-humans actually do grow faster and mature faster than humans. I like the part where Nafumi opens his eyes. Is like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "I'm Raftilia," and she just looks like a full-grown woman now. And like, I like the comparison that's done as well with when Raftilia in a child form is talking to Nafumi in his head, but then when he opens his eyes, it's like a full-grown woman. So that was pretty cool. She does look more mature nowadays. But I guess that means she's gonna level up more. So she's level 21, and he's level 24, I think. So they're still quite underleveled. And I saw the opening today, and I'm expecting more members to join Nafumi's gang. So I wonder who the next one's gonna be. But yeah, I thought this was a very good episode, and they even run into the ending. I love it when they do that. That means there's more screen time. It's everyone, and then I guess this changes the dynamic of the heroes now. Oh, I completely forgot about the other two. So, like halfway through the episode, when Nafumi loses and no one owns up for the magic, when Nafumi's like, "Did anyone see it?" I was getting annoyed at these two as well, but they changed I changed my feelings really quickly when they came down, and they actually stood up for him. Like this was the first time. Like this is the first time everyone like Peter like Nafumi's luck's changing. Nafumi's luck is actually changing. Those two heroes, the bow hero and the sword hero, they saw it, and I like that. They actually stood up for him, and they were like, "Yeah, you lost, bro." They were like to the shield hero, I mean the spear hero. They're like, "You lost, bro. Your your what you call it? Your party member interfered," and it was quite nice for someone else and except Raftilia to stick up for Nafumi-san because no one ever stuck up for him. So yeah, like I was giving them mad points now. I was like, yes, finally, you guys have seen what this woman and this king has done to our bro, Shield bro. I think now because they've caught her red-handed in this scheme to ruin Nafumi again, they might reconsider what the previous allegations that she has accused him of, and they might be able to see past that and see eye to eye now. Uh, I guess this is good because now there's been a doubt placed on those two because she has been caught red-handed. So I guess the strain that was caused in the four-way relationship within the heroes can be reduced because they can now see that she has been doing something suspicious to sabotage Naofumi the whole time, and hopefully they'll see it. Especially the spear hero as well. He's been the most hostile to Naofumi, so I guess this could be a chance for him to burn down the bridges and make some new relations, new bridges. But yeah, very good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I spoke as long as the episode was. Wow, that's crazy. But I think I waffled a bit too much. Sorry about that.